Greetings and welcome to the Dancing Deplorable. I am Milo. Ha! I'm also the pistol packing patriot. I'm on multiple platforms: DLive, Cloud, Twitch, Telegram, and Cloud Hub. You? Yay! I'm here. Okay, I got some cool stuff. We are going under the ocean today. I found many things under the ocean since 2015 and not sure why I'm glitching. I'm going to pull myself out because I don't want it to glitch. So I do want to pull something up here real quick and double check that we have sound, because having sound is very important. And of course, it's thinking. I had some music up. Here it is. I'll play that. Um, okay. Sometimes people don't realize what we go through in order to make streaming possible. I'm trying to. Greg made a comment that he was on Cloud Hub and had tried to talk to me in chat, but I never saw anything that popped up that said he actually did that. I mean, not that he didn't do it. I don't see it, and when I'm looking, I don't see a place um, to watch. Let's see. There's my channel. Okay, here we are. Okay. Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to get this down because I don't want to miss when people are talking to me on these platforms. And welcome, Cloud Hub. You guys are the best viewers. I have so many views on Cloud Hub, I can't even begin to tell you. Um, there we are. Okay. So I don't need to start that, but I do have live chat that I can see. Now I wonder, let's see if I can bring that in here. No, don't change things. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to write something in here just to let people know that I can see it. And I don't even know if it's going to pop up and show me in the comments. So I will put that over here as well. And that will hit multiple platforms. It's supposed to, anyways. Okay, good. So I see myself over there in Twitch. I don't see anything pop up on DLive, but I'm trying to get it together and juggling because again, I don't want to miss your all's comments um, if you're talking to me. So welcome again, Dancing Deplorable. I'm the Pistol Packing Patriot. My name is Milo. I have multiple streaming platforms. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Telegram, CloudHub, and DLive. Okay, so let's go. I'm right near where this. Trying to get rid of that. I'll just take that out. Ah, no, that's not what I want. Okay, so now let's go to Google Earth where you can see me moving the machine. Okay, so right here where I'm at, under the ocean, I'll show you where I am. I am west of South America, south of Mexico. Yeah, okay, so here we go. And what we were looking at was over here. Got way far away from what I was looking at. And I probably lost it. Oh yeah, the leafy thing here. Okay. So this is what I find on the worm when I'm going through. Um, let's see if we can get something in the background. Do 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 do. I'm coming over to you. Do 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 do. Yeah, I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm tired of fighting with copyright stupid BS. Okay, so anyways, I spend a lot of time looking under the ocean and the stuff that they hide from us. It is absolutely amazing. Florida Marquis finds a lot of stuff under the ocean as well. Most of the time, if you're looking at blurred areas and if you drift off to the edges of the blurred areas, you can usually find something notable, very notable on most accounts. They're hiding a lot, and you can notice just a lot of things going in just this one little scene right here because um, they blur so much. They blur so much that they take away any definite edges and things like that. But we still get height and depth and things like that. Now this looks like a building like the I don't know, Washington State Bill. I don't know. It just looks like a major building. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's got the peaked roof. Oops, slow down there. It's got that peaked roof. Let's see how big the roof is. Just one side of the slope. We'll do feet. We'll start at the top right here. Okay, one side of that roof, that sloped roof, is 7,000 feet long. So 14,000 feet long is that roof. And you can tell it's a building. I mean, and that actually over to the left of it looks like a sphinx. It's shaped like a sphinx. It's got a head up at the top. Some of this stuff is openings, and you can usually tell they're openings. But when they have stuff above it, you gotta question the sphinx stuff, especially if they're hiding all this crap from us. um, a lot of times you have to look at the shadows. I've talked about how the shadows are super important when you're looking at Google Earth, just to see how the placement is. As far as like that right there, that's a door. And if you can't realize that that's a door with an overhang and the light is reflecting off of the top edge flat part of that door, come on, that's a wall. Let's see how tall that wall is. I do a lot of measuring. That's 1,000. That's 1,500 feet tall. That wall right there. Okay. Um, that there's another opening right there. It's got a platform. It's got stairs going up to it, and a black opening. There's probably a sculpture or a building that is like incorporated like a sculpture. You can see the head right on the top. I don't know what it is, but it's like, as an artist, you draw a lot. When you spend hundreds of hours drawing people and buildings and nature and things like that, you just know placement. You know where things are. Now, this is the photo that I had up, or this is the screenshot I had up when we first came in. These are, I don't know what they are, but they're openings. You can see that they're openings. There's even people in them. That's another thing. You see people in here too. And you can't, it's just people in windows, people in doors, creatures crawling out from holes, sculptures that are enormous. Um, I found designs on the ocean floor south of Brazil. There's so much to look at. These are obvious openings. When you have that dark of a hole, black holes, when you're looking at this stuff, those are openings or holes. And I say openings because if they're in a side of a mountain or a cliff, that's an entrance. If you're looking straight down upon like a hole or a crevice, then you would be able to tell that difference. I do not see anybody chatting, so I guess that's okay. All right, so let's go look at the city underwater in Hawaii. Why isn't it moving? No, why isn't it going there? This is the one I found the other day, just looking around at stuff. And this is an obvious structure. You can tell by the shadow. I would say, let's see how long that is. I know the creature's enormous here, but this is also something. And I think it's a vehicle of some sort. That is 23,000 feet long. So maybe not a vehicle. But this creature thing coming up out of that, actually, this is what I was looking at when I was coming across here, was this half of a face that I saw. Because when you come down here, you can see nose placement, eye placement, shape of the head somewhat. More than likely that's hair. Don't know what all that is. Don't care. But right here, that is a creature. That is a head. That is an arm. And it's climbing out of the hole, climbing out of that eye. And it's really odd too, because if you look up here above it, it looks like drag marks or something, like the trail it made crawling across as it crawled into the hole, and now it's crawling out of the hole here. That's creepy shit, man. Sorry, but that's creepy shit. Okay. I'll get to the, oh, this was something interesting I found. I don't think I talked about that. I think that's in Antarctica, but I don't want to go there. I want to go into the ocean. Yeah, there's a whale, though. I found so much in Antarctica. I can't even begin to tell you. There's so much time we can spend there. But anyways, let me make a path of this whale so that you can see it. Some of you may see it already. Looks like a sperm whale or something, like Moby Dick. Maybe it's Moby Dick. It's super big. Okay, and then there's like the fin right there that's coming out, tipping up there. And then I don't know where the body goes after that. So I'm just going to say it kind of ends like right there. But there's the head of it. Okay, so let's put the whale in. Oops. Whale. Okay. Oh, wow, what is that? That looks like a drag head. Right here, like this is, that is a dragon's head. I wonder where, let's go back to the ocean. We need to stay in the ocean. I'll do Antarctica another day. I've got plenty to do there. This particular area I found very interesting. I just found this one last week. This looks like the Grand Canyon to me. Um, and I think it's, let's see how large it is. Yeah, that's pretty large. That's 60,000 feet. Let's see how many miles that is. That's 12 miles right there. So that realistically could be something like the Grand Canyon. And basically, the Grand Canyon was a mining district. See all these cross hatch things going on here? I think this is the mining that they're doing, and that's just what we're seeing from the mining. Because I believe that they're mining enormous amount of precious metals from under the ocean, because there are millions of giants under the ocean, and they blur the bottom of the ocean so that we cannot see them. And there's a lot of them, and like I said, if you spend time on the fringes of the blanket, the blurring blankets that they put down, you'll start seeing things that you'll put it together yourself and figure it out. It's just obvious stuff. These look like areas of travel. These are cities inside these, and there's a building. Okay. This is what I mean by using your brain and deducting that what they're trying to show us here is the bottom of the ocean, and how can the ocean, the organic thing that it is, have straight lines like a building and black windows. I even have some windows that you can see. No, not a. Hi, KP. Not alien life. This is all the ancient. I believe a lot of it's the ancient. Before we had, because according to the Bible, there was no water like we have today on the earth. They didn't have the rivers, the sea. I mean, they did, but it wasn't like it is now. But everything that's covered now in water was not covered before with water. So it's not only ancient, but now they're building new stuff underneath the ocean. A lot of building under the ocean. I was having a problem with my stream. That's why I took my ugly mug out. But let's get back to this. Thanks for dropping in, KP. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff here. So let's go ahead and look at the crab. We've been in, how long now? We've been in, let's see. Yeah, it's glitching out again. I don't want the whole stream to do that. So I'm going to take that off. And I know it's my speaker relating to my camera, because my camera is trying to record at the same time. It's really stupid. Let me try something here. I don't know what it's doing. It's being weird. Hold on a sec. Let me check my audio. That's why. Where's my snowball? Quit messing around. Okay, camera. be, keep that, 720. 720. All right, I think I got it. Holy cow. All right. Okay, so let's go look the giant crab. Here we go. Whee! Upside down. Okay, so, and I'm going to zoom it out and I'm going to show it to you a little bit clearer because I have a crappy computer. The longitude and latitude is at the bottom. It is, let me see if I can. That's wish that we could capture on Google Earth Pro when we're doing things like this, because they it's just easier. You can just copy it and then post it, but you can't. Stupid. Okay, so here's my giant crab. I found this a few years ago. I have it on a couple of other videos, but I was just looking around and there's still a lot of things. Like this stuff here is just, that's a city. And again, the shadows are utilized by whoever these people are that are living there. Okay, so this is the crab, and I've outlined the shape of it so that you can see how I came to crab. And I was just looking around, and like I said, I've drawn enough things and no nature and no stuff obvious to me. But if you notice here, what's odd I found is it looks like, that kind of looks like a face, but on the side, it kind of looked like this was a trail to this crab or this crab's. Now I'm assuming it's a trail to the crab, like it's a sculpture or something like that. I hope it's not a monster, but it could very well be a monster. I don't know. Can't see it clear enough to say one way or the other. That's the top of a building. That is really weird. Look at that. That looks like, I wonder if we can go. Like that is the front of, let's look at this opening because I bet you that's a giant door. I bet you. I'm going to start with Miles because that real. Okay, it's not really tall, but it's still big. That's 1,500 tall. That opening, that door opening. But there's also something interesting about this particular building is it has an opening on the top. I've never seen that. In all the things that I've looked at, there's an opening. But this is the top of a building. So I find this photography, I don't know if it's like facing down, earthquake tipped over, but it's almost not right. Almost looks like a chimney or something. I don't know. That was really not me. But definitely that's a doorway. I mean, you can tell. Let's see if we can go down here. Sometimes they take you down. Because it takes you down into a picture. And that's when the shit freaks me out. Because you're like, why is there a picture under the ocean? Yeah. And watch this as we zoom out. Watch how much the buildings really look like buildings. Even more. There's a frick. I'm not even going to say it. Nope, not even going to say it. Okay, so let me take the path off so we can look at this. Where did I? Delete. Yes. Okay. So I took the path off. All right. So now you can see the crowd's glory. Okay. And let's spend a little time looking at shadows and shapes. Okay. So here, and now I had it outlined. So remember, I had it outlined. This is a pincher, the right pincher. This is the left pincher. Okay. This is why I think it is stationary, because this dark crevice looks like there or city access or something going on there. Let me see how deep that is from just what we see. Wait a minute. Clear, clear. Come on. Clear. Let's see how deep this is. I think she fell asleep. I'm going to have to go get her. See, that's 12. Just from what we can see in the shadow of that depth, we can see 1,200 feet. Okay, so it's got to be, if not that tall, then taller. This could be the bottom edge, and that's just whatever that is. But I'm assuming that is a way to get to that claw. Now, this crab, here is the of the crab. This stuff over the top is like camouflage. It's like the stuff wherever, I don't know what the deal is with, but it's a freaking crab. Okay, there is just no mistaking that. And I don't know if it's a building. I don't know if it's a vehicle. I don't know if it's a ship. I don't know what it is. It's not an alien, because aliens don't exist. Demonic, yeah, it could be. Those things, yes, those things could be. But just the fact that it exists, and I found it, the things are being found too, like that whale. But that was on land, and the other creatures in Antarctica. So, keeping that crab in mind, let's take a look at, well, that's weird. No point in having that up. I had my DLive up, but it didn't show pop out chat for my DLive. But KP, I didn't see your comment there. So that's weird. That's not working right. Okay, obvious crab. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. Well, I am kind of blind. But these are just things that, and even, here, there is a structure in front of this that's made. That is made. It's not ocean floor. See, this is what the crab top looks like, is this stuff. So if it was like around that, it would blend right in. Okay, so at the snail trails, I think you guys will find that interesting. Let's go look at this underwater building real quick. Oh yeah, here we are. Yeah. This is, some of this stuff is obvious, and blur, the way they blur it, obvious. Lights is another thing. I talked about that with the Antarctica, Florida Marquis did the other day. You could see all the light coming off of the edges of the buildings in the areas that he was talking about, that he knew it looked like a city. There's obvious things that we are not stupid. This is a skull. Only a skull. eye, slope back head, or half skull, whatever. But this is obvious a place of interest. There's shit going on here. You know? Are they moving around under the water? What the hell is that? But look at it. It does look like it's in the water. This particular one that we're looking at right now. That this looks like clouds, but sometimes I wonder about stuff. That's actually a wave. There was actually a lot of stuff going on here. Here's another. There's just too much going on here for it to be organic and a nothing. I mean, seriously. Pyramid Valley, Metropolis. Let's look. Metropolis. Still looking for my snail trails. Oh yeah, and things that, especially when they blur a huge area, it's obvious to me that they have something grandeur there. Dragon head, elongated head. Where are you? I know you're here. I know you're here. Snake head, tongue. Who's that sitting on a throne? Titan. Harpy. We've already looked at that. There it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, patterns on the ocean floor. Now, this could be NASA, Disney, whatever, but I don't believe so. Being a person that has watched every single movie seemingly from childhood, I can pretty much take out something out of every movie that they could potentially have lied to us about, and was one of them. Now, bear with me. Giant snails. Okay. Remember how they were portrayed? Now think about this. An ocean snail does not look like a land snail. Okay? An ocean snail does not look like a land snail. Okay? Most of them are shells, or they have, other types of things on them, but they're not the same. So I'm thinking that these are the spiraled snail, shelled snail. And I'm not gaining that from the design that they make, but by the that I find an interim in between these designs. They're like held in stop motion, seemingly, and they look like freaking spiral snails. And I have an issue with this area of interest, where it is, and all the faces that I find here. It's quite alarming that this area looks like something was pushed through the water to create this something square. That is a very strange shape. I don't know if that's generated man-made digitally or what's going on with that, but that is not normal. Um, but okay, so let's go down and look at this guy again. Yeah, there's a lot going on west of South America. There's a lot. I've even found over Brazil or Bolivia, I can't remember, um, like a chained demon dragon type thing. And I'll be going over that as well. But no Scotchy this year, it's really weird here. There's a lot going on. That's a face right there. There's one place that I kept looking at that it was like rows and rows and rows of faces. That's all it was just a bunch of rows of faces, building structure. And you'll notice that when you're researching, when you find the areas that look like faces, there are buildings there. And the reason I believe that they build on those areas is because of the gold and the precious metals that are left over from then these giants, because the trace minerals in their bodies would be, as big as the gold composite. Do you know what I'm saying? Versus like just a person, you'd find, like dust, like gold dust. But in a Titan, we're talking city size of the size of gold. Ice over here, very interesting. There's something here, and it's not normal. Remember I was talking about the fringe stuff? This is what I mean by the edges of the fringe. I spend a lot of time here just because it's organically for what I'm looking at. This looks like octopus tentacles to me. And some of this stuff, doorway, opening, I don't know what the hell that is, more than likely a creature. Here's another face. Here's another face. That could be... Nope, I'm looking at it wrong. Hold on. Okay. I have got to put you guys on hold for a minute. My roommate forgot something and I've got to go do it. So, listen to this for a moment. I'll be right back. Is it going to start? Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. It was a roommate emergency. Yeah, so sorry about that. Back to reality. Oh, that was really bad. I mean, that was so bad. How bad was it? It was that bad. That's how bad it was. Okay, let's see where we are. I don't see any comments. So let's go back here. Now, that looks like stairs. That looks okay. Okay. So the snail patterns and everything totally a city. You see platforms, and then you see stairs. Sometimes you'll see lights on the way it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be just like that. Or yeah, it's like that. That's the way we should look at it. It's very interesting to see how much they're hiding. Like this, you can totally see there's a blanket over. There's a face right there. Okay. Lots and lots of faces. The ocean today, because I've got a lot of stuff on the land. I've got a lot of stuff in Antarctica. I have a lot of stuff on Google Earth, you guys. Any lack of, content. Here's another face. There's a nose. You know what? That's a pyramid. Let's look at that. That's another thing incredibly a lot of lately. 10,000 feet. Clear. Yep, close enough. And let's go this one. Well, close enough. You can pretty much figure it out. A lot of times they'll have a connected metropolis next to them. Or multiple pyramids. There's an opening. It looks like a modern because it's round. Like in Antarctica. Okay. Let's see. Wait, let's look at this. I think this might be the one I was looking for the other day. No, that's not it. Okay. Giant head, creature eye. That's all Antarctica. China dragon embryo. East Coast dragon. Fish. I need to get all these off of here. Let's go down here. Okay. Let's look at the portal. I know that's under the ocean. I wonder all they were talking about. It's things like this that I find very interesting because the light is shining strangely. The light is shining hardcore, and you can see the shadows across that bumpy ridge. That looks like a face, by the way. But this down here, see how it kind of goes out, and then it kind of goes out, and then you can see an obvious opening. And there's an opening there too. But this stuff fascinates me. That looks like a face, and there's looks like a building right there, opening. That looks like it could be a sculpture of some kind. Look at this doorway here. Sometimes I'll see light coming out of doorways or things that look like portals or things like that. And I just can't help but, that's really odd. Look at that, almost looks like wrapping. That's weird. And that looks like a, that's so weird. And there's obvious openings. See those openings there? Those openings. Let's see how long that building is. 4,000 feet long. Let's see how big the opening is. 2,000 feet. Yeah, giant size. Okay, let's see if we can see this portal. A lot of times what happens is, and it might be this right here, a lot of times what happens is I'll mark a spot and I can see it pretty clear, but to look at it again, they've blurred it out even more to where I can't even differentiate what I was looking at from before. That's a very big possibility right there on how big that is. That could possibly be, because it actually looks like it's on like a top of a building. See how the building comes? It's got the opening of the building. Like, you know how the Sphinx has that, the feet, and then it's got that, the wraparound, you see the feet goes in. There's a lot of that kinds of things down here into the ocean. And if you notice in front of this thing, that looks like a shape of the see right here, I'll show you. Let's see. There's that. Here, let's do a path so you can see what I'm seeing. Or a gear. That shouldn't have been there. You get the idea. I can see it right there. And then that's an obvious opening. Hello. Okay. I know I put down alien stuff. I've just recently, within the past 2 years, know now, just because of my research on Google Earth Pro, that I found these things out for myself. Proved them to myself. Alien statue sitting on a throne. Can't remember where that is, though. Right here. Actually, that's really freaking creepy, y'all. Because that looks like it's looking up at us. Sitting in a chair. I don't think that's a sculpture. And if it is, that is a big sculpture. Let's measure that. Okay, there's the head. 2,000, almost 3,000 feet tall. Here's the body. Go down to the butt where it's sitting. 10,000 feet. Then from the butt cheek to the leg, 5,000. Oh, I forgot to measure the crab. The crab's 3 miles long or wide, and each pincher is 1.5 miles long. In case about that. But this is these are the things that I find, and that's an obvious sculpture statue. You cannot mistake an artist like I am. You notice everything. We had to look. Not only did we have to draw stuff, we had to history and all the artifacts and everything from the beginning of time as we know it. So all the Egyptian statues and the Sphinx and all that stuff we researched in art. Okay, so when I look at this stuff, I'm not. I mean, my imagination is there, but I'm not going off of my imagination. I'm going off of things that I'm seeing my artist eyes because I've drawn them 100,000 times. There's no mistaking these things. And when I start questioning like that kind of stuff and then whether or not we're looking at it correctly, and I spin on, I see more things like here's a face, here's a face, here's a face. And it's not that scientific term that label us people that can see. No. And here's an obvious opening that they've blurred. There's another face, and there's another face, and there's another face, and there's another face. Everything is proportionate. Eyes, mouth, nose, hair, everything's proportionate. This actually even looks like a giant with a huge something on his head. Helmet of some kind. That itself is interesting. Look at that. Sharp edge, sharp edge, sharp edge. That's not organic. And sharp edge in nature. You just won't. Now, this is obviously mechanics. Obviously. Something's going on here. So, yeah. Let's see if this is. Oh, I think I just looked at it. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, maybe it's not. That's interesting. That looks like a dragon head. That's in the face. Okay, this is another thing I'll show you. When you're looking and you see discolorations in the shadow, that doesn't look like rock, ice, snow, anything like that. That's that's an eye. That's an eye. This is the mouth. There's the nose. I don't know what the hell it is. Doesn't look human. They're just visible things that, if you know, it looks like a leg sticking out right there. If you know what you're looking for, you find so much stuff. It's unbelievable. It truly is. It's a big city. Big city. There's a lot going on here. And look at, see, this is the other thing that cracks me up. This is a vehicle. Obviously a vehicle. Like a dump truck. I'm shitting you guys, okay? You can't have gray, brown, black, gray, brown, black, and then have splashes of color, okay? It doesn't work like that for under the ocean. Either you're seeing it all or you're not, okay? So that's obviously something. Yeah, and there's travel. And whatever they do not want us to see at all. Let me flip this around because I think this is something like a bird or something. You look at it a different way here. Oh, see? Yeah. Yeah. So, crazy. Just crazy stuff. Okay, let me see. Let's look at the ship. I think that is that in Antarctica? There's a lot of stuff around Antarctica too that is weird and unexplained. Like things like this. When you look at things, see the shadow. Yeah, look at this part right here. It's got shadows all the way around it. How's that possible? Again. What the hell is that? See, these are interesting. Is the fact that there's no ice here, but somehow there's still some ice over here. Why? Also, the shiny, shiny light on this side and the shiny, shiny light on this side, that's not sunshine. Yeah, that's not sunshine. It's artificial light. Sunshine is very gradual. Okay, we got some swirly things going on in the middle of this thing. Is that an eye? Let's stay with the ocean. I'll come back to that. That's over by. I wonder if this is my dragon area. Like a slope of slidings down the hill. Blew me away. I don't think this is it. Oh. Okay, so let's. Oh, snap. Got another head here. Holy cow. Okay, this is a Titan head. See the skull? Let's see, where's that? Creature. That's a creature, not a human. It could be a humanoid. Looks like it's got gills. But here's the back of the skull, and that's a whole city along there. Where is this? Greenland. We're in Greenland. So that's, and I haven't even done any research up here, to be honest, guys. Not like I've done in Antarctica. But I'm going to, because that's very interesting. See how they're blurring it? That's a big city. Places, photos, roads, gallery, and more. I'm not showing anything for here. But see how interesting it is that they half and half? Oh, this is interesting. It's good to go in the crevices because they don't always blur stuff out. What's that? That's obvious stuff. That looks like a person. Okay, let's look at one more thing out of here. Let's see. Horn statue. Where's that one? Let's take a look. Good, it's in the ocean. Sometimes, and this is something to keep in mind, that under the ocean is Sheol, which is hell. Is hell. And we don't know how big hell is. It could be bigger than our world up here. We don't know. We're not in charge. So we have to keep these things in mind when we're looking at the ocean, that we're seeing demonic influences. We're seeing in a different way because we're looking. There's another opening. I mean, you cannot miss all opening. You just cannot mistake these things for what they are. And the fact that they've hidden everything from us. Just spending a little bit of time on the fringes of Google Earth Pro, you will see there's a face. Us. You'll find your own. I don't have to be here, and Florida Marquis doesn't have to be here. All you have to do is jump into Google Earth and you'll start finding things yourself, because you're not stupid either. And that's what the elite want us to believe, is that we are stupid and we don't know anything. And the longer that, the happier and well hidden they stay. You know, these are all their places of refuge. The color, yeah, it's not normal. It's not normal for what we're seeing. Another face. So, yeah, folks, lots to see. There's another whole cityscape right here. Check this out. You know, you can't an arch, and there's a building on top of it. Some of this stuff you have to wonder, there's a face in there, there's a face in there. How, look at that one. I've found, like I said before, I found castles, ramparts, and all that stuff. So, thanks so much for joining me today. I got started a little later, but my show's coming on tonight, Survivor. I'll be back tomorrow at 3:30. I'm still shooting for KP. I just see your comment here. What do you think? Are they just living down there, leaving us alone? Yeah, pretty much. That's what I believe. I believe that is where. I think, my personal opinion, not only are the dumbs being utilized, but I think that all the money that these elites have stolen from us, they're doing all this building under the ocean as well. Because I see lights on down there. And I'm not stupid, and I'm not an idiot. If it's a building and it's got a square and it's lit, that's a window or a door. And it's just obvious, folks. It's just super obvious. That's a good question. KP, I appreciate you asking it. People don't realize how much stuff is down there to find. There's a guy that found a spire out in the middle of the Pacific, which we have to keep in perspective, because if we know about the flat Earth, we know that part of that is made up. It's all BS, because they're just making up an area to fill, because they've taken that space and made Antarctica with it when it was supposed to, circle us. So if you think about the Antarctica, encircling us, and, how it would unravel in which areas you're looking at, you'll be able to probably match up a lot of the same things for a lot of the continents that it's, connected to. And I showed a pie chart. Basically, I took a pie, drew a dot in the center, and then made pie pieces out from that. And those are each, like, the center would be the center of our flat Earth, which would be the North Pole. And then you would take pie pieces out for the continents away from the center. And then wherever that pie piece went out, that is the area of inclusion for the Antarctica part of their area of influence. So that's the areas that they can research in. They can't cross over into other areas. They can only do research in their own areas. So when we're looking at Antarctica, we're thinking it's all in one continent. No. It's like traveling around, and seeing everything on the outer edge of the ice wall, looking at us towards the center. So lots of things to think about, folks, and get on there. And remember, the last video I did on Google Earth, I talked about the digital mapping that they do, that they use continually in graphic artists and Disney and all that kind of thing. I know how they work. I was going to go to school for that. I know how all that shit works, and I know what they use for their templates. And the templates that Google Earth uses for Mars and the moon is the template off of our Earth, the model globe that they use for our Earth. And it's identical. And when you go and look at those places, you can pull up, they'll have like the little Wikipedia things, and you'll click on them, and they're from here. Or you'll click on them here, and they're from there. So everything is together. It's not separate. They're all the same template. They're all the same thing. All they are, all Mars is Google Earth with a different filter, and they took all the borders and everything off of it. I can make our world look like Mars just by taking off everything and changing the overlay filter and putting an orange tinge to it. And my friend Pamela, I had brought up some things back a couple years ago. Why are we seeing car axles on Mars? Huh? Why are we seeing car axles in photos off of Mars? Yeah. It's pretty funny. Well, if we know they're lying to us about this and they're lying to us about that, they're lying to us about over there and over there, they're lying about this too. Everything's a lie. Everything. Doctors, nurses, everybody's working for Satan or Apollo or Lucifer or Baal or Moloch or whatever. New World Order, New Age Agenda, the Reset, Jacera, Nasara. It's all bullshit. All of it, people. Jacera and Nasara is bullshit. I mean, yes, it does exist, but not for you and not for me. Who do you think's on the top of the list for Jacera and Nasara? The elite are. And you think that they're going to give us serfs any of that money? Hello? If they haven't given it to us now, they're not going to give it to us then. So quit thinking that they are. And if you believe Trump, then you're believing the other side of the coin of the good cop, bad cop. So we already know the bad cop is the other side. And this is just the other side of the bad, good cop. It's all bullshit. Everywhere, everything. The flag, patriotism, America was all founded on Masonic bullshit. That shit's all theirs. It isn't anything about our freedom. It isn't anything about anything except them. So we're basically brainwashed to the extreme. Not me. And I'm still getting out of it. And it's hard. It's really hard. Because I'm like one of the most patriotic people you could have met in your life. From my upbringing and what I was taught and how much I love my country and my fellow citizens. I still do. But knowing what I know now about the founding fathers being Tartarian, it's not setting well with me. And yes, there were good ones in there, but most of them were bad. And the fact that they took over the Tartarian stuff and took all the gold and all the precious metals out of all that stuff and kept it for themselves. Because I can tell you that every single building that the Tartarians left, or that they got wiped out, whatever, had gold in it. Lots of it. Lots and lots and lots of it. I can't begin to tell you how much gold is on this planet. Not for us. And it's God. Yeah, where does that leave us? Exactly. Where exactly does that leave us, KP? The only thing that we have out of this is God. I cannot begin to tell you how alone I am in this world, KP, and how it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life is to go against the norm. There's a lady on TikTok, and I really like her because she is talking about standing at the crossroads of the narrow and the wide gate, and she has her sign, and I can't remember what she said her sign was, but I realized that I was standing there too with her, not even realizing I was standing there with her with my own sign that was reverberating in my brain, in the back of my brain since 2007, is things are not supposed to be like this. They're not. And I'm having issues because I want to know the Father's heart. KP, everybody is in their own place, seriously. And it's a thing that we have to question things. We have to come to I talked about the white line yesterday, coming to that line, and I know you probably know about this because I know everybody encounters it. In your lifetime, you come to pivotal points in your life that you come to that line, and you have to sit there and decide whether or not you're going to cross that line or not, and do the whatever, murder, rape, mayhem, chaos, whatever it is. We all have that. But the fact that if we continually question everything, God values our free will and our free thinking. And he's always looking and waiting for us to ask the right questions, because I believe that is exactly where it is who are you, God? Are you real? Are you there? I need to know. And I can guarantee you, KP, if those words come out of your mouth and you truly are seeking answers, God will show you. God will reveal it to you. And it's hard to say that and people understand that, but when you've encountered the living God, and you've encountered Jesus, and you've encountered the Holy Spirit in your life, at this moment or this in this person or that person or in this instant, God shows you things in your mind and brings things together. And he's very particular about who he shares his knowledge with. And if he shares his knowledge with you, you should be very privileged and feel very, very okay with that, because he's trusting you with his knowledge that everybody else doesn't have, because he's the one that facilitates it. So if we are in a place that we know we're thinking about things on a deeper level, that there's got to be more than this. There's got to be more than this. That's where he's waiting. And he's waiting. And he's always knocking. He's always knocking. Always. He always wants to spend time with me. And it's like life gets us busy and gets us thwarted away, and the enemy comes in and just wreaks havoc. And if we let him, then we get separated from God. And it's so hard, because then we have to claw back to get back to where we were, because we can't find peace anywhere else except in the presence of God. Because now it's gotten to the point to where everything else in my life outside, not in my home, not with my close friends or anything like that, my couple that I have, but outside, it's complete chaos for me to be out in the world, because I am not of the world anymore. It's getting less and less that I want to be attached to those things. I just get sick. I get sick when I'm out in the world, because it's so oppressive, and it's so depressing, and it's so demonic, and it's so dominating, intimidating, and manipulating from every everyone. And everybody is cursing everybody. Not cursing like fuck you and shit, damn, fuck, piss. I'm not talking about that cursing, which I have a trucker's mouth, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I cuss, and I'm getting there not cussing, because I think it's a frame of mind and getting in a place of peace with God and His mercy and His grace that we can let that go. We don't have to go there anymore. And I'm not quite there yet, although I am almost. But I have some other things going on, and I don't know what the hell's going on. But I need some serious prayer, like getting together with some people and having them pray for me, because I think it's parasitic. And I can't afford to buy anything right now because I'm jobless and everything. And it's like, it's so important, and I have to maintain it. It's not something that I can just get on and, okay, well, I'm done with that and not do it anymore. I have to keep it going, because I have a feeling that that is where I'm at, and I need to clean my body. I need to get that out. And I'm thinking about doing a fast too. And I think that that is why it's so prevalent in so many places for people talking about fasting now, is because that kills it too. That kills the parasites too, because it basically doesn't give them anything to feed on, and they exit your body. My issue is I want to do it right, because I don't want the shit coming out my eyes and my ears, because I know I have issues up here with that, because I have some like medical sinus and eye thing. And I totally think it's parasitic. And I don't want to see that shit coming out of my ears and my eyes. Thank you very much. No, thank you. But KP, just the fact that, you're here, you're watching Greg, or you're watching Axe. It's a hard place to be in when you know things that other people don't know, because God has revealed knowledge to you. And I think that is where it gets tricky with us on the know, because we almost have to sit on that information. Have you listened to Julie Green Ministries on Rumble? Reach out to her. No, I haven't seen her, but I'll check her out. There's a lot I'm actually trying to get a ministry started with a friend where we want to do a kids ministry, a street ministry. And it was actually something that God has been telling me about since Bard's Fest on the, wasn't that 2020? Yeah, that was 2020 that they met, and everybody got sick. But I don't think it was COVID. I think that they brought something else there and gave it to him. They dropped somebody. They sent a bunch of people there that were sick and contaminated or something, and got everybody sick. But they started talking about let me think. Was it I don't remember, but they were talking about how to like reclaim your area where you live, like pray over buildings and pray over areas and stuff like that. And that was kind of started leading me down the path of wanting to start this ministry. And then my friend got involved, and then she's like a homeschooler mom, and she has homeschool for a bunch of kids. So we wanted to plan a big day and just have all the homeschoolers come. And because we're all like the groups that she has, they're all God groups. Everybody's God oriented. So we would go to like a park, and we would fellowship with each other, of course, pray for each other. And KP, if you ever need prayer, let me know, because that's my job right now, and I like my job. So, and I take it seriously. And prayer is part of our job that we have to do as brothers and sisters for y'all. When you're in need and you need prayer, you need to reach out and ask for it, so that we know we can pray for you for anything. Not silly stuff, but you can pray for your own silly stuff. But it's just it's definitely, the Bible says that we get set apart, because we just can't deal with all the lies.
And I think that is the biggest thing, KP, that I deal with is all the lies and all the misinformation, disinformation from both sides. And I can tell you that the reason that I no longer follow Trump the way that I used to, now I'm still for Trump because I want the lesser of two evils, and that is Trump. For me, in my camp, what I believe. Um, I know that I don't know. None of us know. None of us know what is in the deep heart of Trump. Okay? God knows. And if God chooses to bless Trump, then God will do that. And I will recognize that. But there are things that Trump has said and done that has completely made me change my mind about him. And it's not anything anybody has told me. It isn't anything that somebody said or I saw on YouTube or I saw on TikTok. It isn't anything like that. It's my own it's my own inductive reasoning of information that I have gathered over the years since 2015. Now, some stuff goes even further back. When it comes to Trump, it does not. There's only a very small portion that goes back beyond 2015. So everything regarding Trump for me goes from 2015 till now. So when I talk about Trump, I'm talking about that time frame of information and knowledge. So finding out that MAGA, MAGA capitalized, just silly things, and it may not be true, but it's still things that make me think. Hi, Kitty Woo, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Lurking. I love lurking. It's so fun. But I know that some of the things that Trump has said has made me step back and evaluate things a little bit more. Like the MAGA thing, the MAGA. I just was like looking around and I'm like, I saw something and I researched it and I found the truth for myself. I didn't just believe somebody. What I did was somebody said, oh, hey, MAGA means the sixth level of the Masonic blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. So I went in there and I looked, and sure as shit, sixth level degree of Masonic, hierarchy is MAGA. And it says it specifically, MAGA. And the fact that it's on everybody's hats, shirts, flags. This raises, and this is the thing about, and I was going to do and I totally forgot, and now I remember because I didn't write it down, or I wrote it down and I didn't know what I did with my paper, because I was going to do the idolatry tonight. Remember, I'll do it tomorrow. And I got to get off of here because my show's starting soon. But the idolatry, and that is where, in the back of my mind, I have been on an researching adventure since 2005 in regards to that, because of my art and not wanting to do satanic, disgusting artwork. Even living a gay lifestyle, I told God going into school I would never do anything. I don't want to do anything that would ever jeopardize me with him, or do graven images or anything. So that was a very big stickler for me. So I'm always in the back burner with me with some things that, man, when somebody says something, it brings it right to the front. And I sit there and go, are you freaking kidding me? What? Okay. So then I thought that, okay, about Trump. And that just started on a research binge on hi SMI, welcome. A researching binge to find out more information. And I have a lot of information on Trump, you guys. Information that you guys don't know about that I'm going to share really soon, that It's not that it's not out there. It's just my theory of bringing information together and looking at it in a different way and realizing some things. Like his trip to Saudi Arabia. Y'all, if you haven't seen that, wait till I show you that one. Sums up. He's got blood ties to Saudi. I don't know where, I don't know how. He's got blood ties to Saudi. I'm telling you. I'm not bullshitting you guys. This is a for real thing. And when I talk about it in the video, when I do it, I'll show you exactly what I mean and how I came to that conclusion. Because that was one of the things that really just went, what? And the other thing that got me researching and making me think about him was these stupid fucking books. These time travel books. Those were not here before, folks. Those were not books that were here before 2015. I'm telling you, they're not. They are not. Okay? So, there are things that you can find. There are things that you can't find. There are things that God reveals things. And I think that's a big thing for me. Discernment and obvious things through an artistic eye. I just see things differently. I see things differently than anybody else on this planet. You can ask my roommate. I mean, it's like sometimes we have discussions and she looks at me like, where the hell are you? I'm like, I'm definitely not where you are. And we're okay with that because we are totally two different people on the same mission. And it is the most amazing thing to see how God is working through both of us in almost exactly the same way. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Survivor's coming on in an hour. I'm so excited. Oh my God. You guys, I can't stand the players because they're all so petty. I cannot wait to get on Survivor. I really want to work on my audition video and get it out to Jeff because I know I'm going. I already know. I think God has already showed me that I'm going. I just have to apply. And I'm like, just apply. Because I would run circles around those people. Let me tell you what, folks. That game is in my pocket. My pocket. $1 million. I have watched that show, and I didn't even like it when it started. I didn't even watch it when it started. I didn't start watching Survivor until 2008 with one of my girlfriends. Ex-girlfriend now, of course. She was funny. Yeah, right. That would be, I'm like, I would not be hungry. Neither would my tribe. That's one thing. Nor would we be wet or cold. We might be cold, but I'd be like, get over here and hug me, motherfucker. You are warming my body. Or they're going to be going, oh, Violet, come over here. And I'll hug them all because I got enough body heat for them. But we would not be hungry. We would not be wet. And we would definitely be winning. It depends on the tribe. I mean, if they're like, some of the people I've seen, I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to be like Sandra. I'd be like another Sandra and what's that other girl's name? The old lady was Sash. What's her name? Oh, I can't remember. But Holly was the other older. Holly, and she's a farmer, has a daughter. Anyways, I would be like her because she was off catching fish, and then she'd go off down the island ways, and she'd be cooking her own fish on a fire away from the tribe. I'm like, That's me. I'm feeding my motherfucking ass. Whether you guys, if I'm catching fish, I'm gonna go fishing. I'm gonna be looking for idols too. If I'm going fishing, I'm catching fish. But I'll tell you what, while I'm catching the fish, I'll be making a fire off to the side and cooking. And another thing, I think they have specific rules because why aren't people drying fish? They just eat them all. I'm like, well, why don't you just catch so much and then you can dry some and then you'll have some left over and you can just stick them on pikes next to the fire and dry them out. And then there's like, yummy. Yeah. Can't wait to be on Survivor. I've never tried to make fire since I've watched Survivor, but I don't necessarily need flint. I don't know. I'm not worried. I'm really, really looking forward to it, though. I think it'd be pretty funny. And I know for a fact that there's never been a Milo on the show. So I know for a fact that Jeff would pick me just because of that. And of course, I'm old. And he likes to pick old people that are loud or that are big. Because I think myself as very big, personality wise. At least I used to be. I think I'm slowly working my way back to that. But I think it would be interesting. I think that I would definitely, I cut my hair. All of it. I cut it all off. I would have to have a beanie. And as long as I had a beanie and a sweater. I can't believe they don't let them have rain jackets anymore, but I'll tell you what. We won't be wet unless we go out from the shelter, because our shelter will be waterproof. And it'll be like a teepee. Because some of these people, they don't know how to build shelters. No. You need to do it right. And maybe there are stipulations too, like they can't build a teepee, or they can't dry fish, or you can't save food necessarily. Like if you catch it the day, you have to eat it the day. So there might be stipulations that we don't know about, but I don't think there are. But it would be interesting to find out. But yeah, that's going to be, so I'm really working toward getting my video audition done. And if you guys have any great ideas for me, drop me a post because I'm looking for good ideas. I just, my silly self, I like to dance and be silly that way and do stupid robot dances and stuff like that. And I used to be pretty good, but now it's just silly old lady stuff, but it's still funny. I think that would be so funny because then you guys would have to be like, then Greg, I'll have to tell Greg, like, Greg, hey, I'm going on Survivor. So you guys will have to like figure out somebody that can like, live stream and do a watch party. So you guys can root for me. And then when I come back, we'll have a big party. Yeah. And I truly, I just wonder if that is one of the things that God has revealed to me in a type of blessing that all I have to do is apply. And he will bless me with winning because I have all the right attitudes going into the game to be successful at the game. And lying, cheating, and stealing. And it's a game. And if that's part of the game, then you have to play the game. You can't to a point. Now, I'll tell you the people that I respected and how they played the game and kept it was season. It wasn't. It was last season. It was last season. And the way that they treated each other, it was the first season after COVID, after they came back after COVID. But the way that they treated each other was the most real I had ever seen any Survivor players play. it was just super neo Survivor. It was just super new. It was just amazing to see how these people played the game and kept it a game and kept those levels of friendships and strong bonds, and it was just the most amazing season I ever watched on Survivor, because it started out really shitty. It started out racist. They brought in a bunch of stuff that just wasn't, they took it down the race card aisle when it shouldn't have been ever down that aisle. It just didn't happen the way that they seemed or thought that it happened. So I was really glad that they kept race out of it this season. It's like, we need to stop bringing that to the forefront, and people need to figure out how to fix things on their own and don't bring it into the public, because that's just gaslighting. I think it needs to be handled on the level that it's at. Unless it's severely something that needs to go to court or something, then yeah, that's serious stuff. But if any of you guys, KP and Kitty Woo, SM, if you guys don't know who Axe Truth is, and I think some of you I know from Greg Harvey Greenbeard, if you don't know those two names, Axe Truth and Greenbeard on DLive, I suggest seriously following them, because they're really great. Super great guys. And Axe is just amazing, and he totally has no filter. So you've been warned. But I like Axe because he's a gay man, and he's learning the truth as he goes too. And I'm an ex-lesbian. I don't know if some of you know that or not, but I am not gay anymore. I don't play in anybody's court. This is something that I've made the decision with and have had discussion after discussion with God about, that if he wants me with anybody, he's going to have to drop that person in my lap. And they will have to be in the middle of a ministry that I'm involved in, because there is no way I'm ever going in anybody's court anymore unless they're in God's court. And I don't believe God is going to send me a female, because I don't believe that that is what the intent was for us. I believe that everybody has a free will and a free mind to do what they want and to fulfill the desires of their heart. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily correct. And that's all I have to say about it. And it's an individual choice. LGBTQ community can jump off a fucking cliff as far as I'm concerned, because they do nobody any good whatsoever. Whether you're in it or you're out of it, they aren't for you. Period. They aren't for you, especially if you're gay. They want you to go down that deep, immoral hole that they've gone down. But see what happens with that, and this is what people don't understand about sin and about being in the gay lifestyle, is you can be monogamous in a gay lifestyle and still lead, I would think, a godly life in a way, because, you know, whatever, okay? But it's when it steps out of your area and it goes out into the world, that's when it becomes the bigger picture. So if you start influencing people outside, that's when it becomes bad, I think. And it's not necessarily bad, it's just another sin. And anything that keeps us away from God or separates us from God is sin. Anything. Speeding. If you're breaking the law, that's a sin. We're still supposed to be law-abiding believers. There's so much involved in this, folks. It's really, trying to just get on the 10 Commandments thing and not be petty about wanting other people's shit or wanting a better life, better things, that's like envious of your neighbor's shit. The folks, it's hard. But I'm gonna have to go because I'm getting in pain now. My back is telling me it's time to go. Thank you so much for joining me. We did cover a lot of stuff today. Tomorrow, definitely idolatry and graven images. I want to get this topic out there because you guys need to know what these artists are doing, and they're bad, and they need to be called into account for all these idols that they're building and putting up all over the world, because that's when it comes down to going back into the Bible and looking at even like the instance of where, I don't know if it was Isaiah or Jeremiah, but I think it was Jeremiah, but he was telling the king that it is not the gods that are eating the food that you're leaving for the gods at the sculpture, at the artwork. It's the priests that are eating it. And the king's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And the guy's like, yeah, it is. Let's set it up and I'll show you. And he set it up and he sprinkled ash across the floor so that all the footprints could be seen. And then after they, spread the ash, they left and locked it all up. He gave the king the key. So the king knew nobody else had access to get in there. So they came back the next morning and all the food was gone. And the king's like, see, my God ate it. My God consumed it. And Jeremiah or whoever it was said, no, look over there, king. See all the footprints? And it's like, you could tell whose footprints they were because, small priesthood. Okay, so the king knew who it was. And it was children, women, men, all of the whole family. And he basically killed them all because they came in through a chute, like a secret door, and they came in that way and then ate all the food, took all the offerings, and then left out of the, because it was a locked building, but they had a way in underneath. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just really lying. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't kill. Don't hurt. Love one another. Pray for each other. Even if you're not a praying person, keeping somebody in your thoughts and wanting better for them is basically the same. And who doesn't want that for their own friends and their own family and loved ones and animals? I pray for our animals. I pray over our property here, 4 corners of the property line. It's very important to me. I just want to be a prayerful person all day. That's where I want to be. That's where I'm moving into, is being an intercessory prayer warrior. And because I know God blesses that in the obedience of that. And I only have love for my brothers and sisters. And trust me, it's a lot to bridge over that one, to throat punch people to get to that love. And I'm not always there, folks. It's a struggle every day, every instant. That's why I'm like, I have to spend moment to moment with God, because if I stay away an hour, I'm lost. And if it's 2 hours, it gets worse, and 3 hours, and then it becomes a day. Then it's a nightmare trying to get back. It's like, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death is like putting it lightly. It's just some real serious. Thanks so much, Kitty Woo, for dropping in. Thanks. I appreciate that. Blessings to you all, everyone. And I'm going to dip out. We're almost at 6:30. Give me a chance to get a cup of coffee before Survivor. Yeah, won't that be fun? Watch me on Survivor. Yeah. Well, it's like, you guys, I've already lost 70 pounds since like last year. That's why my clothes are like bad. I'm like, I feel like I'm wearing my son's clothes. It's so funny. I can swim in them. I feel like these shirts are dresses now. I don't wear dresses. But, yeah. If I go on Survivor, I better darn sure find food because I ain't got much left to lose. And some of these skinny people that go on there, they're so anorexic by the time they get out of there. Why don't you people fatten yourselves up before you go? That's what I would do. I would get a little fatter before I go. If you're going to be stuck eating rice. And another thing, I'd be up walking up on the, hey, let's go for an adventure up on the hill. We got a day. Let's spend it. Let's go up and get wild rice. Duh. There's so many things. There's so many things. And if you know the plant and the floral and stuff, you're not going to go hungry. You're not going to go hungry. The natives know what's good. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. I enjoyed and thank you all for reaching out in chat and talking to me because I don't always get that, and I'm finding that if I'm doing an earlier show, I definitely get more interaction. So the late night stuff, I just don't care for it. I'm super sleepy, and then nobody comes in, and I'm like yawning. I'm like, no, don't yawn, no. That's no taboo. No, don't do that. So I'm liking this afternoon, but I'm thinking more than likely I'm going to shoot for 5 o'clock just because it's a little less conflicting with me and my roommate. She goes to work in the evening. So because I want to move upstairs to do my live streams and plug in directly to my modem because I'm having some streaming issues. Oh, thanks, Kitty Woo. And thanks, KP. You too. You have a great night. You guys have a great night. And if you can make it tomorrow is the idolatry and graven images. And I'm going to do a little bit more research. I've already got a big list going already. I've already got a ton of stuff. You wait till you see. I mean, it's really intense. It's really some good research. And it opened my eyes. I'm like, whoa, I did not know that. I mean, I'm having issues with photos. It's a graven image. Do you know what I'm saying? So join me if you can. If you can, I understand. But I'm going to, like I said, I was shooting for 3:30 to 4:30 to live stream, but it's a little conflicted for what's going on in my household. So I'm thinking I'm shooting for 5 o'clock. So that's going to be what I'm shooting for tomorrow. Is the 5 o'clock for the graven images. Thanks so much, everybody. And I do want to start. I'm going to start a D-Live dance show. Just goofy stuff, just playing music and chatting and dancing and having some fun. Maybe lose some weight and do some chair dancing for older people and or people that can't, walk or whatever. And do something like that and have some fun. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Blessings to you all. If you need prayer, leave me a note. Or email me at thedancingdeplorable. No. Yes. Thedancingdeplorable at yahoo.com or pistolpackingpatriot@yahoo.com. You can get me at either one. Or you can find me on DLive, or you can find me on YouTube, or you can find me on CloudHub. I love CloudHub, by the way. You guys on CloudHub, you guys rock. I have every time I post, I get 400 views right off this bang, just like that. You guys are amazing on CloudHub. I mean, you guys really look around and watch stuff. I'm amazed at, and I haven't even had a chance to do that myself, because as a live streamer, it's really hard to be in doing that kind of stuff that you did before, because you don't have time to do your own research and stuff. So, but yes, hats off to CloudHub, and oh my gosh, I really, really don't like that. No thanks. We block those types of people. I don't want that bullshit in my rooms. Thank you very much. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again for dropping in, y'all. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you folks. Hugs. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.